Welcome back to Unqualified and Educated, where we give you our unqualified and uneducated opinions on all things sports, music, TV, anime, or anything else that's really interesting. Carl, what is up, bro?
What's good, man? Just sitting up here in Clovis. My freaking butt hurts because I started doing these this vertical increasing workout thing. Basically, just something to force me to be active. It's like a 30-minute thing where you do like jump roping and jump squats and or lunge jumps and stuff, bro. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, my butt hurting, and I did it yesterday.
Oh,
it's a grind.
Leg workouts are always the worst 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, they don't play, bro.
Yeah, tomorrow you're gonna be hurting tomorrow.
Bro, tomorrow I have to do it again. I do it every other day.
I think it's good. I think that's good though. If you do it, I think if you work out your sore legs if you work out your sore legs while they're sore, I think it gets rid of some of that lactic acid in the muscle buildup or the lactic acid buildup.
All I know is that jump roping for 2 minutes straight, that is just hard.
Oh, that's crazy. My wrestling coach in high school told me if you do it for I think it's 2 or 5, so that's like running a mile.
The 2 minutes straight is ridiculous.
I think it's somewhere in that range, 2 to 5 minutes. Somewhere in there is running a mile at some crazy pace if you jump rope. If you're really jump roping.
Yeah, I was my calves were dying. I was just I really can't.
Dang, man, I've kind of fallen off the wagon this week with my workout regimen, and I really.
Are you trying to hop on this vertical workout? Then just get in touch with me.
I'm good. Or you can send me something. Send me some information. I'll check it out. But I've definitely fallen off the wagon. The thing is,
I'm not gonna lie, what I send you is going to be a screenshot, not an actual article.
Nah, you can send me a screenshot. Cause my workout regimen is kind of weak right now. Cause Mondays and Tuesdays I don't work out anymore. Because I'm at work all day and I go to class, and then by the time I'm done with school and stuff, it's already 8 o'clock sometimes. So it's the last. Basically, I just get home and just go to sleep, and then Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm pretty much, I work out Wednesday through Saturday now. Oh, I just got that text. Just got it. So I gotta get how to double your vertical jump for basketball. You try to get them bunnies?
I'm gonna have the bunnies.
You gonna have the bunnies? Okay, I see you.
I'm gonna do my own Kobe commercial. I'm gonna jump over a car, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. They're crazy. You're about to get the bunnies. Oh man, I'm with it. So do I start at week 1?
Yeah.
What week are you? You're on week 12?
Bro, I'm on day 1.
Oh, bro, you're crazy.
I did 1 day of the workout. I got bunnies already, bro.
Bro, you hopping?
Yep.
Dang. All right, bro. Let's get to it. So I know last week we talked about we were gonna do an anime episode pretty soon, and this was supposed to be the anime episode, but that's gonna take a little more preparation from the both of us to really come into this. We gotta give it the time and the care that an anime episode needs. I know we did a sports episode kinda-ish last week. Tell you the truth, I don't know what we did last week.
Something solid.
We did something. Yeah. If Unqualified and Uneducated put it out, it's always solid. But
some quality.
We never said it was unquality. I don't think that's a word. But we admit that we're unqualified and uneducated, but we don't put out bad quality. Unless you're talking about audio, then that stuff's always trash. But this is going to be another sports episode because of the many topics that are going on right now in the mainly basketball world with the end of the season wrapped up, I think, Wednesday. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Dang, he really just up and left. That's crazy.
I'm back.
This dude just up and left, just straight up in the middle. He said, "I'm out."
Like Magic Johnson.
Oh no!
I just Magic Johnson. Oh yeah. He said, "I'm not gonna be here no more." That's so funny.
She too scary,
bro. That's so funny, bro. Magic's the only person to quit on his day off. Like,
I know, Magic's crazy, dude.
Magic quit on his day off. Like he just said, he was so happy too. He was basically, I can't remember what he said exactly, but he was like, people were saying, what are we going to do? How are we going to fix this? And that fool said, I don't know. I'm not going to be here. Bro, that is so crazy.
Magic Johnson freaking wild, bro.
Okay, so as those of you guys that don't know, Magic Johnson resigned from being the head of Lakers basketball operations. So basically, this means that there's some type of internal conflict that was going on in the Lakers organization. Because if you look at
that's surprising.
I mean, look at how many heads are in the chef. I mean, how many chefs are in the kitchen, right? Like we could list them off, and there's just too many of them. There's Magic.
Magic, Genie, Bus,
mm-hmm.
Palinka,
mm-hmm.
LeVar.
Oh, you gotta have triple B's all day. BBB.
Jack Nicholson.
Yep. LeBron's in there.
LeBron.
Kobe got his head in there somewhere.
Kobe's still in there.
Shaq be stopping everything down, looking for barbecue chicken. Shaq would just poke his head in there and be like, barbecue chicken. Oh, okay.
Karl Malone for a couple seasons.
Oh, Karl Malone trying to get another ring. So there's so many heads in that kitchen that there was too much going on, and so Magic Johnson, the whole season, everybody knows Magic Johnson wanted to fire Luke Walton, but it turns out Jeannie Buss, allegedly, this is all alleged, she doesn't want to fire Luke Walton, and I guess the other guy, Kobe's agent, Rob Pelinka, I guess he didn't want to fire Luke Walton. So we're going to see what happens. We really don't care about what's going on in Lakerland. Not at all.
That's real.
I can tell you that. That's why we're giving this. We just did this at the beginning just to get it out the way. And because...
just the fire shots.
Just the fire shots. Yeah, we thought, I just think, I love it. You know, Lonzo don't want to play for you guys. Magic, he don't want to build a team for you guys. LeBron barely want to play for you guys, and Luke, you got Luke. Luke, the only one that want to coach for you guys. You guys got Luke.
The only one willing to suit up still.
you guys
put me in, coach. He said, you are the coach. When I am the coach. Shit.
They got Luke Walton and Kuzma. That's it. That's it. They can build a team with Luke Walton and Kuzma.
That's all you need, bro.
That's all you need. And maybe you can get some free agents, you know. So that leads us into, do you want to go home for this one?
Yeah. We got to, because I didn't even find out about this till I was just scrolling through Twitter like a few hours ago. I didn't know it was like a real deal, but our boy's gone.
Yes, the Sacramento Kings, a.k.a. Vlade Divac, decided to part ways, a.k.a. fire Dave Joerger after the most successful season in Kings history since the Rick Adelman days, which is a huge surprise to me. Very big surprise. There was a lot going on behind the scenes with the Kings that, you know, many of us have been paying attention to. You know, the dispute between him and Brandon Williams. You know, that issue with Buddy, Dave Joerger's rotations, the Kings losing these leads at the end of the game. Marvin Bagley's dad and voicing his opinion. Gosh. There was a lot going on, but I honestly felt that Joerger and Vlade was on, like, I felt like they were a united front in a sense, you know.
I thought so too. Rest in peace to Der Jägermeister, bro.
The Jägermeister, man. I feel like that name would have got bigger if he stayed if we got to the playoffs.
Ugh,
Because
just it don't make no sense, man.
speak on that.
It just don't make no sense. Like last season, if they're firing him, right? It's last season, not this season, because the last season was like awful, and that's when he was actually just playing like vets for no reason over like our guys who should be playing type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This season, bruh, like how many times did I see Costa Kufis on the floor? Like I honestly don't really remember. I could probably count it on my hands. How many times I've seen him play, you know?
Yeah.
And we even brought in like veteran type players like Yogi Ferrell and I guess towards the end Corey Brewer, and those dudes, they didn't really get like play like that. It was still like keeping it with a nice like a younger rotation, and people were getting their minutes, and we had a fantastic season. Yeah, we had a bunch of games where we tanked out at the end, but it like what do you expect out of a bunch of like 20 to 23-year-olds? I don't understand. I really did love Dave Joerger as a coach.
Yeah.
I still like him a lot, and it's just like I don't understand why fire him. Like what bad did he do other than he stirred the pot a little bit with some of our key players, and he didn't play Marvin Bagley 40 minutes a game.
Okay, I'm on the same page as you. Look at check it out. Dave Joerger got fired because the Kings didn't make the playoffs. That's understandable, you know. You hire a coach to get you to the playoffs, and if they don't make it, fire him. You gave him 3 years. He didn't make the playoffs. I'm fine with that. But that's not the case. This is in this situation. That's not the case. You know, we were expected to win somewhere between 7 and 13 games this year. I'm just being 100% honest. Like people,
it's so sad.
We were predicted to win 7 to 13 games. People didn't believe in Fox. People at the beginning of summer, people just thought Buddy was a one-trick pony. He can kind of shoot, and that's it. They thought Bogey was the only shining thing, only thing we had. They figured Bagley would just be, you know, just some mediocre bust, and we didn't have anything at the beginning of the season. We didn't have anything. You know, under whether the team got better in spite of Joerger or they got better because of Joerger, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, with Joerger at the helm, we tripled that expectation. We won 39 games. We could have won 40 last night. We probably should have been at the very least we should have been at 400, but we just fumbled the last 2 games crazily. But you know, it just doesn't make sense in this case because you start with what we had and then you just look what we did. I thought in my mind, I'm like, okay, let Joerger has 1 more year on his deal. Let's run this back. If he doesn't make it at the end of this year, let's see what we can do then. Let's evaluate him at that point because then his contract's already up.
Right.
And one thing about this contract stuff, we're wasting a lot of money on people that aren't with the franchise.
Yeah, honestly, we're probably still paying George Karl.
We are. I think we are. Let me look it up. Actually, let me look it up.
Like that wouldn't surprise me. Probably owe more money to ex-coaches than we do to ex-players.
Let me see. Okay, so so we're still paying Ben McLemore. He's on the payroll. We're still paying him.
We need to pay Ben McLemore.
Still paying Matt Barnes, paying Papagiannis, paying Deontay Davis, paying Caron Butler.
Papagiannis?
Yes.
The boy.
we're still paying him. And Cody Demps. Well, that way we signed him this year. Same thing with Corey Brewer. We're actually paying Matt Barnes through next year.
What?
Next year we're gonna pay him $2 million next year. So and then you add on that Joerger still has 1 more year on this deal, so we're gonna pay him for that year. And earlier in the season, we signed his entire coaching staff for next season. So we're gonna pay this coaching staff next season too if we don't get him. And the one thing I really did like his coaching staff. His coaching staff was a good coaching staff. So I don't know if we're keeping them, or if it just goes to waste now. But it just doesn't make sense. I don't like the move.
I don't either. And it's like, who are we gonna bring in?
Okay, so this is all speculation at this point. I've been going through the Kings. I've been going through the Kings fan pages and everything. So there's a faction of Kings fans that have been calling for Jaeger's head since I don't like halfway through this season. Like they've been calling for his head. They don't like his rotations. They don't like that. They don't like the way he gives press conferences. They don't like his interviews. They say he's a little too angry or snooty. Um,
The hell?
yeah, they don't. They wanted to be in the playoffs. They didn't care about this good start. Don't get me wrong. I feel like we could have been better. And like I said, Jaeger's lineup sometimes was a little questionable, but they really wanted his head. So in their mind, they've been justifying this and comparing this to Mark Jackson getting fired from the Warriors and the Warriors getting Steve Kerr.
Whoa.
So they've been saying that Joerger is our Mark Jackson. So they're thinking that we get, like, they're saying, Joerger got us as far as he could. Now it's up to somebody else to, take us and lead us to like the promised land. If that's your analogy, like the promised land is the playoffs, we're screwed.
I know.
You talk about the playoffs, like Joerger could have got us to the playoffs next year. I really think we would have been a playoff team next year. I think we will be a playoff team. I don't know now because you bring a new coach. I don't know now. We don't know who we're getting. But at least Mark Jackson was able to get the Warriors to the playoffs, I think, 2 years in a row before he got fired.
He had them knocking on the door, being already like they were like conference finals, weren't they?
I think they made it to the semis, and then semis, and then there was that one year with the whole Donald Sterling or whatever. That year they were playing the Clippers. I think they went out in the first round or something like that. But my whole thing was, you got to the Warriors were able to get to the playoffs. Then you're like, okay, this is first round, second round. That's as far as Mark Jackson can get us. Okay. Let's see if we can get a coach that can push us to the next level. We won 39 games, and you're like, okay, this is how far Dave Joerger can get us. Let's find somebody else. And you know who they're looking at? Our leading candidate?
I don't think I want to know.
He just mentioned earlier he could actually hop on the court.
No.
And play with he could hop on the court and play with our guys if need be. Luke Walton. Luke Walton is the front runner for this team. What? Luke Walton is the front runner. I gotta say this, man. The media is in love with Luke Walton. Everybody, for some reason, is in love with Luke Walton. But I have not seen it. I don't understand what everybody's impressed about. I did like last year when he coached the Lakers to like 30-something games. That was good.
Yeah, like I'm a fan of Luke Walton, but I don't want him to be the Kings head coach.
That's the front runner.
Why?
I don't know.
What has he done? Like at LA, looking at this year now, what has he really done?
Mm-hmm.
My whole thing would that be an upgrade from Dave Joerger? How is Luke Walton an upgrade?
See, my whole thing is like before LeBron got hurt in the playoffs, they were the 4th seed, right? But before that, they struggled. So it's like, to me, I'm like, you guys got that far, like, and you guys got into the 4th seed because of LeBron. But you guys struggled in the beginning. So it's like you had LeBron and you guys still struggled. And even when he came back, they still struggled. And when they had LeBron, if you can't get into the playoffs with LeBron, like, what can he do with us? And to me, it doesn't make any sense. Like people always talk about he was like 34-4 when he was coaching the Warriors, but he was coaching the Warriors. It wasn't
I have an idea.
What do you think?
Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh, Dirk! He's going to do the Jason Kidd.
Yeah, we're gonna get him as our head coach.
The instant head coach straight out of retirement. Yo, you're crazy, bro. Like I do
I'd
know.
rather have Dirk than Luke.
I do too. I agree with you. Yeah, and so the kingdom has also been talking about two other people. Um, there's a Spurs coach, and I'm on board with anybody that comes from the Spurs. Everybody that comes from the Spurs usually can coach. So there's name is I think it's like a Aorta or Aorti. I don't know how to say his name, but it starts with
Like
an
an
E.
assistant over
Yeah,
there.
one of their assistants is like supposed to be really good. So that's who some people have been kicking around, but that's nothing like official. That's just who they think or they like. And Monty Williams, I like Monty Williams.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
That's
would,
not bad.
I would, if anything, I would go after Monty Williams because he would, I think he would be a good coach because I like his style. I mean, I like him as a player. You know what he went through when he was in OKC with his whole family.
Yeah.
I like him. That's the only I only because there's nothing out there. What are you gonna do? Go get Mark Jackson?
Nah, I know who we should get.
Oh,
Spurs coach.
you gonna get Popovich?
Nah. What's her name? Becky
Oh,
Hammond.
you gonna get Becky Hammond?
Yep. We gonna do it. We gonna do it right. All right.
Hey, you know what that is kind of true. I remember a while ago they were trying to get like we had a woman assistant coach.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we gonna do it, let's just do it.
I think she interviewed for the Bucks job.
Let's take her.
She got interviewed for the Bucks job, but she got blew out the water because that was Coach Bud. This ain't even sexist jokes. But Coach Bud was like, "Come on, bro. You know who I am? You 60 games with the Hawks. Come on, man. This is my job."
Yeah. But like, she ain't gonna be interviewing against some hardcore people for the Kings job.
You're right. You're right. I mean, if she goes against Luke Walton, they're technically just about the same qualifications. I mean,
Yeah.
I think being on the Spurs, coaching staff is just as equivalent of like winning 32 games with the Lakers 2 years in a row. And she went to the playoffs, so Luke's never been in the playoffs as a coach.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, there is credence to that. I mean, and Vivek is a forward thinker.
Vivek is the most forward thinker, bro.
Hey man,
My man has the most engaging technology savvy basketball arena in the NBA, and I still don't know how it works that way.
I don't know because I just walked in there. It's like a normal arena.
Yep.
They just had chargers on the wall. You could just charge your phone in places like the airport.
And I think they just had like free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi actually
My man
is pretty good.
set up a massive Starbucks with the with a basketball court in the middle.
And then he says the most technologically advanced arena in the world. I was okay, bro. I think that's not. I don't think we can say that anymore after the Warriors built their arena because they got like Silicon Valley money down there.
The Warriors built the most
toilet bowl arena.
Toilet proof.
Yeah, they're the most clog proof.
Most clog proof arena.
You can play. There you go. I can't wait till they're trash because I'm gonna say it is a toilet bowl, bro. What can you expect? I can't wait till they're trash because that's gonna be the best. You know, the Warriors, like when they go bad, they're gonna get it worse than anybody has ever got it before. They're gonna get it bad. Like if they're not like a consistent, if this like Steph Curry era is like a flash in the pan. If it's not like they can keep retooling and keep the like a Tim Duncan and the Spurs like thing, they're gonna be trash and they're gonna get it, man. Because fans are just waiting for their downfall. But back to the Kings. Yeah, there's really nothing. There's not much out there as far as coaching. You know, we're probably going to recover them in a future episode in more depth. We just wanted to talk about this. We can move on to some brighter storylines. The retirement of Dirk Nowitzki. Did you check that out?
Yeah, I did like watch, but I saw. Was his last game in San Antonio?
No, it was in.
Or was it in Dallas?
It was in Dallas. Yeah, it was in Dallas.
Well, so I didn't like see that. I saw his last game he played in San Antonio, where you already know like Dallas, San Antonio. That's a rivalry because they're both Texas teams.
Yeah.
In the West, so that's already a rivalry. But they did like a minute long tribute video to Dirk,
Mm-hmm.
and like thanking him for his career and everything, and it was just like highlights, but then at the end, like it pans to Dirk, and they like, and now welcoming 41 to 7 foot power forward Dirk Nowitzki, and you just like see it, the crowd's all cheering in San Antonio, and he's all crying, and I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that's like I respect that type of stuff, because like this whole time I'm comparing Dirk, like the way he handled his retirement just now,
Mm-hmm.
and how D Wade did his.
Yes.
And like I got issues with how D Wade does his stuff versus how Dirk does his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's probably because D Wade was one of the original founding members of the Big Heat, Banana Boat, Big Three, or whatever the hell boys, and that already made me go against those guys, unfortunately. But like Dirk is just class act, like in how he retired and how everything went down with his career. So I don't know. I love Dirk Nowitzki. I'm pro Dirk.
Yeah, it was interesting because like with Dirk, he didn't say anything the whole season, but you kind of speculated, you know?
Yeah, like you would see him like laboring up and down the court, like man, my man's knees look like they're about to give out at any moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just like there's no way he plays another season, but like he didn't say nothing about it. He just played his game, and then like what within like the last, I don't know, just in like a little while, he's just like, yeah, like nonchalantly, like, yeah, it's probably like my last season.
Yeah, I don't think he really said anything to like the last like game or so, and it was just like there was just like moments where you're just like, this has to be his last game because like the thing when he was in LA, and then Doc Rivers stopped the game to like.
Yeah,
like,
that was awesome.
Give him an announcement, like there was things like that. So it's like, yeah, he's got to retire. It's like the league is like pushing him out. Like he's.
I know, it's like if he doesn't retire, that's super awkward.
Yeah,
when he plays against them next year.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking, and that's probably what he was thinking too. He's like, yeah, this is gonna be too awkward. He's probably like thinking I was
gonna retire.
He was like, I actually want to pick up a check next year, but he was like, next year was gonna be the year like I don't play. He was like, next year's supposed to be my Zebo year, like. I'm not gonna play, but then he was like, all these people keep on doing this, so I guess I'm just gonna leave. so yeah, so it's just like, yeah. So, but on the other hand, so you did not like the jersey swapping from Dwayne Wade.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like to an extent, I don't mind it, but then I don't know. I don't know if I like the whole jersey swapping with D Wade. Every night's like this big ass deal for him, because it's just like self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more self-centered, like Paul Pierce, self-centered. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like it's my night, not his night.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I have an issue with, like the farewell tours. And I'm a hypocrite because, like when Derek Jeter did his in baseball with the Yankees, I didn't mind it. But I'm a Yankees fan, and Derek Jeter was like the dude I grew up watching, so I'm biased there. But it was the same exact like ordeal. So I think it's just because I was pro D Wade, I liked him, and then he turned into like someone that I didn't enjoy when he did the Big Three. So I think maybe that's why I kind of don't like the way he handled his retirement.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, because like I would have to, yeah, I see what you're saying, because I have to like say like the thing with because I would have to go back to like Kobe's year. Like Kobe's last year was like a big thing,
right?
Even like compared to D Wade's, I think his was at even a bigger scale, and he didn't do jersey swapping. I don't think he swapped any jerseys. I can't. He might have, but I don't think so. But I think with his, like every arena that he played, he had a tribute video. And I was at the game when I went to a Kings game on his last game that he played against the Kings, and there was like a big, like we did a huge tribute deal, and like everybody stood up and clapped for him and everything. And I was like, this is cool, but this is the guy that screwed us over at a thing. I was like, this is the guy. What are you guys doing? This is like public enemy #1. This is it. Like, what are y'all doing? But, I got up and clapped because everybody was, like, looking at me like Everybody looked at me like when you accidentally forget to take your head off during the national anthem.
Yeah.
That's how everybody was looking at me when I wasn't clapping for Kobe. So I was like, I stood
They
up.
be hitting you with them daggers.
Yeah, they
bro.
were looking. They were looking at me like nasty eyes, bro. I like touched my head because I was like, "Do I have a hat on?" It's like the national anthem playing. So I was like, I just stood up and clapped, and I was just like, "You guys don't understand, man. This is the Black Mamba, man. He's about to bite us after we're done clapping." But but it was yeah. But I feel like Kobe's was way more natural
Yeah. Yeah, like
because
Kobe's, I don't know if, I don't think I had a problem with how Kobe did it.
Kobe he signed a 2 year deal, and he said this was the 2 years would be my last. He was just kind of like these
Yeah.
last 2 years are gonna be my last 2 years, and he just he said that's it. So everybody just made it more special. It felt like Dwayne Wade's was more like I'm retiring this year because I want my farewell tour.
Yeah, I agree. It was like Kobe. Well, maybe Kobe asked for the tribute videos. Like honestly, that wouldn't surprise me, but I didn't mind it because like I think I appreciated Kobe more as a basketball player. Maybe I'm not to that point yet. Maybe I have to wait a few years to like keep rewatching D Wade stuff to appreciate him more. But I think I just appreciated like how Kobe played basketball more. Um, but D Wade's it is like, hey everybody, this is the last time I'm ever gonna be wearing the alternate Miami Heat jersey in Milwaukee playing you guys.
Yeah.
Don't you want to make sure you get me swapping jerseys?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, but bruh, you're gonna be playing 3 more games here or 2 more games here. What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, but then we'll just be wearing our regular away jerseys.
Yeah.
So then I'll swap that one.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of crap that I imagine is going through him. And maybe it's not, but I don't know. It's just super self-centered. Like when he did and you know what it's stemming from? When he did the thing in Dallas where he like reenacted a shot or a celebration that he did against when they beat the Mavericks, when the Heat beat the Mavericks, and I was just like, what? Like, what is that shit?
I think I remember something like that. I can't remember it exactly.
Like, it was like they beat the Mavs, right? They beat the Mavs for the championship, like, handily. And he, like, reenacted a celebration that he did in the Mavericks arena in his last game there. Like, it was pre-game, but still he did it. And it's just like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what's the point of doing that? Like, what? Like, I don't know why that just gets me. It's just like, what is wrong with you?
Well, okay, so like I don't have a problem with him wanting his farewell tour because I think everybody kind of wants one. At least the ones that really deserve one, they want one.
Yeah, I guess.
But I felt like the jersey swapping got kind of old because I liked the jersey swapping when it was like the big players, like when he did it with like LeBron, like the players that meant something, like LeBron, Dirk, when he did those stuff like that was cool. But when he was like exchanging jerseys with like some random, like he was changing jerseys with like Terry Rozier, it's like, oh, okay, like I felt like it would have meant more if it was like Kyrie or something like that, but it was just like Terry Rozier. Not that I have anything against Terry Rozier, but it's like it's just Terry Rozier. And then Dwayne Wade was like, oh yeah, I've been watching his career, his whole, I'm glad he made it this far, yada yada yada. And then when he played the Kings, he like exchanged jersey with Frank Mason, and I was like,
what?
Oh, okay, all right, like, okay. It's just like I don't know. It got old when he was doing it legitly for like the big players and stuff like that, players that actually meant something. I was like, that's dope. But like once it just got to once it started to get randomized, and I think there was like there was one time where some guy thought he was getting a jersey. He's like, no, I'm giving it to someone else, and it was like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, cause I don't remember exactly who it was, but they're like they went up and they were like, yo, can we swap jerseys? And D Wade like denied him. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I was like, what was that about? You like, first of all, he's doing this jersey swapping thing to make it seem like he had such an impact on all these different people. So again, it's just another thing to like make his legacy look so big. Like, yeah, I affected all of these guys from Terry Rozier to LeBron, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then second, he has like the nerve to just like turn down someone who genuinely wanted to switch jerseys with him because he had to like save for another person. I don't know. Like, it gets me off because it makes me mad because like jersey swapping it's like a soccer thing, right? They do it in football, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like the most important players, like, or like the person who plays your like who you're going against or going at the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you respect them, you switch jerseys with them. Like Messi, Ronaldo, they switch jerseys, you know? Or like in the World Cup, like the captains of the teams at the end, they'll switch jerseys, and like midfielder, you know, they'll switch jerseys, but it's like they're showing respect towards each other type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't think it's the same way with like what D Wade's doing. I don't know. Because does he take their jerseys?
Yeah, he takes their jerseys.
What's he gonna do with them?
Put them on a wall.
It's like I don't know. I just don't know if it's genuine. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, same thing. I don't really. I think is I don't really care about jerseys in general.
Yeah,
that's just my preference. So like the last thing I don't want a jersey at all. But the last thing I want is a sweaty jersey. Like, now I gotta go watch this, and then like you watch it, it's like, what's the point? Like, might as well just ask them just to get you a jersey from the freaking team store and sign it or something.
For reals, then you're supporting the team.
Yeah, like, you know, Dwayne Wade can get you so many jerseys. He's like, hey, give me like 100 jerseys. I need to give out to my friends in the league, and he'll sign it. So like, yeah, I was never really big on the jersey swapping just because I just it got corny to me after a while.
Yeah, I think I've just developed a solid hate for D Wade, unfortunately. Some sort of there's just like dislike for him, and I don't know. It's too bad because I used to love the guy, and now there's just something about him that drives me, like, just makes me not want to be a fan of him, unfortunately.
Okay.
Maybe I'll have to reflect on this in a year or so.
And then another thing that came out of this whole Dwayne Wade jersey swapping, or Dwayne Wade farewell tour, was Paul Pierce saying that he had a better career than Dwayne Wade, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The whole thing that everything that came out of that was great.
I was dying. People started roasting Paul Pierce. It said D Wade's last game, and it had like 30 and 10. And it said Dirk's last game, 30 and 10. Paul Pierce's last game, 0 and 0.
Okay, let me tell you, people out there that's listening. Paul Pierce is the uncle that says he could have done this, and that if his knee didn't get messed up, or if he didn't do something. If something happened, this is the uncle that could have done it all in the world. He could have made it to the NBA. And it's funny because Paul Pierce has made it to the NBA. And he was very, very successful in the NBA. But he's still like, yeah. It's just funnier because like normally they were like, if I didn't tear my ACL, I could have made it to the league. Paul Pierce was like, yeah, if this and it happened, I would have been a 5-time champion. So, but it's just so funny. I loved every moment of it because Paul Pierce just gets up. He's on that ESPN show, and he just says anything and everything.
Oh, Paul Pierce is crazy. I didn't know that.
They have this segment. It's called The Dirty Nasty Truth, and then Paul Pierce just says crazy stuff. And he said one of my favorite moments on that show was Paul Pierce. He was like, I invented the step back. Because they were talking about Luka's step back, and then Pierce was like, I invented the step back. And then Charles was like, I admit you had a nice step back, but I invented it wasn't yours. He said, that's mine. So Paul Pierce is going for the Charles Barkley role as the guy that just says anything on TV.
Yeah.
But one thing that came out of this, there's a lot of that comes out of it. He did say something interesting. A prime Kevin Garnett, a prime Paul Pierce, and a prime Ray Allen versus prime Chris Bosh, prime LeBron James, and prime D Wade.
Ooh.
What do you think about that? I've asked people, they say not a chance. I beg to differ
Bro,
because
I am immediately picking the Celtics because Ray Allen's my favorite player.
exactly, but like on like a real like I'm talking about like
If I think about it though, let me think.
prime. Like check this out. Check this out. Let me give you some information. Prime. We're talking about prime KG, prime.
It's because Prime KG would shit on Prime Chris Bosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. Like Prime Chris Bosh can't hang with KG,
Yes.
so that's all already just like squashed.
Yes.
And then I think Prime Ray Allen versus D Wade, that's like stalemate
Mm-hmm.
in my eyes. That's a stalemate. So then it kind of comes down to LeBron versus Paul Pierce. And I think when it comes down to it, Paul Pierce he could get down and dirty.
Paul
And
Pierce.
I think he could hang with LeBron like
yeah,
that.
I think people are overlooking that Paul Pierce went at LeBron a lot. Like Paul Pierce invited the matchup between him and LeBron.
Yeah.
I think honestly, if you put the three in their primes, and all three of them went at it, if you put their teams together, and it was like real legit prime Celtics trio versus Heat trio, I think the Celtics win because they took the Heat to 7 games when KG only had one leg. Like
Yeah, and when they were all like
old,
they were past their prime.
like check it out. Because to me, the Celtics when they were in their, they were unfortunately they were only in their prime for 1 year, and they were able to win a championship. The next year, they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals without KG, and then in the third year, they make it like the third year of them being together, they make it to the finals and they lose to the Lakers. That's when the Heat came into prominence because the Celtics beat LeBron in like what is that 2009 or whatever, and then that's when LeBron leaves Cleveland to go join the Heat because he couldn't beat the Celtics big three on his own. But like that big three wasn't like the prime big three. KG had his knee injury, and the other guys were just old at that point. So I gotta go Celtics big three over the Heat.
Yeah. No, I just the Celtics big three is just more like all around.
Yeah.
Because that the Heat's big three in their prime, they could kind of knock down an outside shot.
Mm-hmm.
And
barely.
D Wade would be their defensive like cornerstone because Chris Bosh ain't much of a defender.
Yeah.
But like the Celtics, that big three hit like actually a little bit of everything. Like Cade, your stuff, just can lock down when he needs to lock down.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Paul Pierce and Ray Allen both were like they could hit threes. Like Ray Allen, top 3-point shooter in the league, and Paul Pierce, like that dude was like honestly at some point like the top clutch shot maker in the league. I think
he was. Yeah. He was clutch.
He was clutch.
I think a lot of people are just disrespecting Paul Pierce because it's funny.
It's because he'd be saying some kind of out there stuff.
Yeah, he'd be saying some dumb stuff, but like Paul Pierce, like I think people need to stop disrespecting the truth. Like he really, people got to go back and watch the tapes. Go back and
play, bro.
They got to go back and watch the tapes. Like people were saying like somebody was comparing Jason Tatum to Paul Pierce, and people were like, "Oh, that's disrespectful." I was like, if it's disrespectful, it's disrespectful to Paul Pierce that you're gonna compare it to like you're gonna compare it to some like kid that only spent 1 year at Duke. If there's disrespect, like if Jason Tatum was able to replicate Paul Pierce's success, as far as points, the amount of points and accomplishments he's made at All Stars and stuff like that, the amount of money Paul Pierce has made, and the championship that Paul Pierce has won, he's been to the finals twice and stuff like that. Then yeah, you Jason Tatum's probably like, all right, I'm cool with that. You never know what Jason Tatum's gonna be, but if you win a championship as like one of a star member, you're good.
Yeah,
So people got to stop disrespecting Paul Pierce.
Yeah, because when Paul Pierce was there on the Celtics, like when he had no help, that dude was balling out like hard.
Yeah.
Like Paul Pierce was sick when he was solo.
Oh no, I know. Like when he was,
dude was sick.
But he was just on his own. He didn't have any help.
Yeah, he was just on his own.
He literally he had like Antoine Walker a little bit for a little while.
Yeah. Like I don't even know who was on those teams other than Paul Pierce.
Yeah, like I honestly can. That's the only other name I can think of. Like everybody, like Vince Carter had help when he was like in their heyday with the freaking Nets and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like back then in that era, it was like it's one superstar versus the field. Like everybody had their team, and it was just like us against everybody else. But everybody kind of had help. Paul Pierce never really had help. So
he never had like a second guy.
He never had one until the Big Three era, and that was one of his arguments. He said, "Give me Shaq, and see what I can do. Give me LeBron, see what I can do." So I do get what he's saying.
That's actually a very strong argument.
Yeah.
Something like that. I actually support that. That's pretty good.
But then Jalen Rose is a troll. But he said, "You did have Shaq." Bruh. So I don't know why, and I don't know how, but what is that? They call what was the? I think this the Undefeated or whatever. They posted. What did they post? They posted. They posted. Or hold on, I'm finding it right now. I don't know. It was some camera crew. I think called Stadium or some platform. They were covering Derrick Rose during his time. It was like when he was like getting back to being healthy. It was right before he got traded to New York. It was like that summer, and they were like interviewing him and talking to him about stuff. And then during that interview, he gets traded to New York, and it just destroys him. And it destroyed me too.
For real, that was sad, bro.
I don't know what it is, but Derrick Rose is like the only sports player that makes millions of dollars that I look at, and something goes wrong, and I just feel bad.
For real.
Like normally, it's like if like I see like LeBron crying, or if I saw Kobe crying, or if I saw like freaking Dirk or somebody, I'd be like, you guys get millions of dollars. Like Gobert was crying because he didn't make the All-Star game. I was like, man, you need to chill, bruh. People don't make All-Star games. What you crying for? But Derrick Rose, man, I'm like, dang. Why y'all do D Rose like that?
I know, it was like such genuine like sadness. Like he got the phone call, his agent, I'm guessing that was his agent.
Yeah.
Was all like, "Yo, man, you're gonna be in New York next year. Like it's like that's how it's gonna be, you know." And then D Rose is just sitting there, and then you just like, because he has the mic on, because they're doing this like interview.
Yeah.
And he takes the phone call in the middle of the interview, and you just hear them like that like sob breathing thing, and that's what got me. I was like, no, this is too much. He's like, like something like that, and I was like, bruh, like this dude's hurt like to his core right now.
No.
I was just like, oh my gosh, bruh. And then he went back, and they started asking him questions. Dude, like, sat down and looked like he was wiping away tears, but then like went straight back into like, I'm in an interview, I'm gonna like do this. And then like he started talking about it, and he got sad again.
Yeah.
And he was like he said something like, Chicago made me who I am.
Yeah.
Or like something like that. And he's like said it with like the emotion in his voice, and I was like, bro, this is too much.
That was crazy. Like my thing is like, first of all, I gotta say, Chicago Bulls, y'all suck.
For real.
Boo. Boo. We brought back the boos. Y'all boo. You guys freaking suck, man. And then, second of all, this stadium or whoever, why would you guys release this? Like, like I don't know. I watched
I
it.
think I think they released it because I felt like maybe they're planning on releasing a whole documentary or something.
Yeah, there better be a documentary. If they just released this out of nowhere, like that's kind of trash to me. Like because it was like 2 years ago at that point. There's no need to like bring that up. They better at least
Right.
like you said, there better be a documentary, or they better have at least had D Rose's consent.
Because I feel like in the past few days, maybe I felt like while I was like flipping through Twitter, I saw something along the lines of like D Rose documentary potentially coming up,
Mm.
something like that. And also I saw something like he might be linked with going back to Chicago.
I can see him going back.
So I don't know. Maybe something's in the works.
I want the Kings to sign him off the bench. That'd be the greatest if we
Bro,
could get him off the
bro,
bench.
if D Rose was like became ride or die for Sacramento, you know how cool that would be.
Yeah, man. We have Fox starting and D Rose our 6th man of the year. That'd
And
be
then
crazy.
like if he had the same amount of love for Sacramento as he did Chicago.
Probably not, because freaking Vladdy will fire him instantly.
I know. He said, "What, D Rose? You put up the best numbers you have in the past 5 years. Not
Fired.
good enough. We didn't make the playoffs, bro. You
Fired. 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 I don't want that to happen. I don't want this. I don't want to make D Rose hurt. He's the only superstar I'll ever put. And only sports player that I've ever like watched something and I'm like, that person makes millions of dollars and they're financially set for life. But dang, my heart hurts, bro. He's the only player that I'll ever feel bad for.
I don't know. How about Isaiah Thomas?
Ooh. Okay, he's up there. He's up there.
He's not like on like he wasn't at like superstar level. Well, he probably
That year,
was
that
season
year,
he was.
He was. He was on MVP level that year.
Yeah, he was. I was gonna say maybe he's not at the same level, but essentially he was at that level. So
Okay, yeah, you got me. You got me. Isaiah Thomas. I was hurt. I was like, because just what he went through with the death of his sister.
I know that dude went through like 3 major hardships.
Yeah, like that game
Like
where he played when he was playing against the Bulls, and that fool was just like, his eyes were like bloodshot red.
I know that was insane.
That
dude.
was insane. Like, and if there were people, there was somebody I was talking. There was people that were hating on him. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I was like, y'all might be bad people. Like, if you can hate on Isaiah Thomas in that moment.
They were hating on him in the moment.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
What
Yes.
kind of scumbag?
Yes. 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 Yes.
What?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes,
I hate people.
And you know who you are out there. I'm not gonna expose you, but you know who you are.
That's crazy. Bro.
That was foul. But yeah, you can't hate on Isaiah Thomas in the moment. But like, yeah, I was yeah, I felt that was yeah, you got me. You got me. I thought it was just D Rose by Isaiah Thomas.
Like, but there's just like a few like very specific things, like stories in sports that I could think about that, like I forgot about them being these mega stars and remembered that they're like human
Yeah.
and like some crazy shit can happen. Like the Baltimore Ravens wide receiver, Torrey Smith, I think.
Mm.
I remember it was like I think it was like playoffs, and his brother had just got killed in like a car accident or something,
Mm-hmm.
and he decided to play the next game. It might not even be playoffs, but I just remember like hearing about it, and I was like, that's crazy. This dude's brother just died, and he's playing a football game, and he went off and like caught 2 touchdown passes. I was like, that's like amazing. You know, there's something like I don't know. Like I felt like it's weird. Like I could just see like God working. I guess I don't know.
No, I feel what you're saying. It's like
It's like this is crazy.
yeah. After a tragedy, it's like people like that's where people can get like a clean, like they don't have to focus on the outside world. They
Yeah,
can just do. They can just clear their mind for like an hour or two.
those are like those moments are like some of the top moments that I remember from sports. Is like that kind of stuff. Like Isaiah Thomas playing with like first off he's injured. Second off, sister died. Like that's just like next level stuff. That's crazy. But those are the things that I like to remember because it's like these guys are amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I was trying to think of another one, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I can't think of anything really right now. No, I can't. Yeah, I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like another sport. I know in baseball, there's like the Marlins. I think they're the Marlins. I don't know what they are anymore. Miami Marlins, maybe. There's this. There's that one like dude. I feel like a couple years ago was a pitcher. He was like 20 something years old.
On a boat, right?
What was that?
He got lost on a boat.
Was that something like that? And like he died, and it was like tragic because he was like actually a kid. He was like 21, something like that.
Yeah.
And then like the next game, they were all wearing like all the Marlins had the jersey on, like their Marlins jersey on with his number on their back.
Yeah.
And the leadoff hitter, D. Gordon, I'm pretty sure that's his name, hit a home run.
Big smack.
He smacked a home run, and he was like running around the bases, but like his face was just like in utter like devastation, crying, pain, and he's running around the bases just like bawling. And I was like, whoa, like that's heavy.
Yeah,
that's amazing. It's crazy.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that's just another one. It's like that's crazy.
It's just like in those moments, it just becomes bigger than sports.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's why I love sports.
We'll just close it out like normal. You got any last words, Carl?
I successfully survived last Sunday where I did a 10K, which is 6.2 miles. Did it in 58 minutes, and then followed it up by playing in a rec basketball league game where our team's goal was just to win one game for the entire season, and we did it. And we won it on your boy right here hitting a buzzer beater 3 bank shot style. Yeah.
You want to give a shout out to the team? What's the team name?
I don't know what our team name is, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Team Sad Boys. We'll just stick with Team Sad Boys.
Well, no, shout out to Team Sad Boys. Shout out to Carl for running that 10K and then coming back to hit the game-winning shot that same night. So, we're gonna clap it up. Clap it up. Yeah, applause. Yeah, people in the back's clapping, clapping super loud. That's good. I got nothing to beat that. So I'm just gonna say this: we said a lot of things about sports that we may or may not have been qualified to say, and if you think we're unqualified, yeah, you're probably right. And I know for sure we were sound a little uneducated in some cases, and I don't know. Maybe you're right about that too, because we're most likely uneducated, and that's why you come here, because we're unqualified and uneducated. Thanks for tuning in, and we're out.